It's a fall morning in western North Carolina, and all the cabins at Pilot Cove are booked solid. Inside cabin 64, everyone is eating breakfast. Baked pumpkin French toast?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is the weekend of the Sets Bike Hacks guided trip. A 3-day all-inclusive retreat with mountain biking, campfires, and good clean fun.
And that's how it's done.
It's sleepaway camp with beer. This is the first such trip I've held, which means all the attendees are taking a risk. Some riders signed up as early as September, not really knowing what to expect. I did have input on what we'd be doing, but the real brains of the operation were Barrett and Jenna of Red Wolf Mountain Bike Tours. They made sure everyone was fed, beered, shuttled, and guided, not necessarily in that order. Included were these cabins, which look more like condos to me. Everyone had a washer and dryer, queen or king-sized bed, and even a free set of hand-up gloves. Every day we'd eat breakfast at cabin 64, which was essentially the party cabin. After breakfast, Red Wolf shuttled us out to wherever we'd be riding that day. On the first morning, we rode DuPont State Forest. Including Chad, Trisha, and Mike, there were a total of 5 easygoing guides on the trip. They managed our route, time, and safety so we could all focus on having fun and making memories. On any trip, the memories are really what you're paying for. So let me tell you about this guided trip by recounting some of my best memories from it. The first one is having dinner by the campfire on night 1. It was starting to drop into the 30s that night, which kept the beer nice and cold. We had just ridden Pisgah, which properly humbled everyone, including me.
Holy crap.
This primed the group for a very North Carolinian dinner, consisting of gallons of mac and cheese, ribs, potato salad, and grits.
That was a gallon of mac and cheese?
That was a gallon of mac and cheese.
That was all potato salad?
Well, there was some grits and potato salad.
I can't believe the grits went. Like, everybody here is down with
That
grits.
was the first one.
Yeah, that's awesome. The only thing that's left is the vegetables.
You just want to like...
Our only light sources were a few lanterns, the fire, and headlamps, which made it a super memorable dinner. The food was delicious and everyone got to know each other by the campfire. On the next trip, we're doing this again.
Whoever wants to be vinegared, come over here.
My next memory is riding the final section of Big Rock Trail in DuPont Forest.
We good? Oh, hell yeah. Should I tow in or? I'll tow you in. Coming through.
During that day, we took as many opportunities as possible to capture people hucking.
I'm going to go to wherever is the craziest and just wait there with the camera and see what goes down.
Just like a vulture waiting for an animal to die.
Big Rock is one of my favorite trails because it's so unique for this part of the country. Rarely do you see sustained slick rock climbs, huge slabs, and actual exposure in North Carolina. It's strange that any good memory would be of a crash, but this one at DuPont goes down as one of my luckiest ever.
Holy shit.
I hiked back up to bomb this rock garden while Barrett and Alex waited at the bottom, knowing that the rocks were a little slippery. I ended up taking the line to the far right and catching my bar on the tree. Not only did I walk away without a scratch, but my carbon bars were perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, I hit my carbon bar, but...
I was behind this tree, and this is from Seth right there.
I call that a win, but I wish more of the group was able to witness it. There's nothing like watching a good crash that you don't need to be a part of.
Holy...
Another great memory from that weekend was killing some time at the Rebranch. After riding DuPont, we had a couple of hours before dinner, so the Oskar Blues Rebranch opened up so we could ride the jumps. They even let me ride one of their dirt jumpers. With a pump track, dual slalom, and slopestyle course to ride, it's anyone's guess why we spent time hucking the Teeter Otter. These things happen.
Oh yeah! This is the only one that counts. We erase everything else. You guys down? Yeah. Oh! Just to the left. Cinder!
That's a good way to close out the day.
Alex, how do you feel? You just broke the world record.
Now what are you gonna do?
I'd just like to thank my mama, my dog.
On the next trip, we'll definitely go to the Reeb Ranch and we'll probably huck this Teeter Totter. Another great memory from the trip was taco night at Oskar Blues. I had told Barrett that I wanted an epic taco night, and he took that pretty seriously.
A little bit of hot sauce.
The infamous Chub Wagon actually catered our taco night, with specially made chorizo and a whole slew of other fillings. We ate them on the floor of the brewery warehouse like savages, although we probably could have grabbed tables outside. That night, everyone even got to meet Drama, who was super bummed to have missed the tacos. On my next trip, we'll definitely be doing taco night. The final memory I'll share from this trip is Shuttle Day. After 2 days of non-stop riding, we wanted to give everyone's legs a break and finish off their arms and hands, so we loaded up and drove to the top. I had swapped my pedals to the dirt jumper the day before and forgot to screw one of them back on my bike.
Whoa, I know what I just did.
So it was just in by one thread. It fell off on the fire road and I needed to go find it.
I found it.
There you go. I think it's past it.
It threaded back in without a problem and we continued on. That was the last day of the trip, and by that time everyone had gotten to know each other. It was less like a group trip and more like riding with friends. Although Red Wolf Tours took care of all the arrangements and our guides made sure we could ride as many trails as possible, I couldn't have held this trip without these attendees. They all took a risk, traveled from afar, and trusted that a guy who eats PB&J burritos would deliver. That might be scarier than the trails. I hope you enjoyed my recap of our guided trip. With all we learned holding this trip, I can only assume the next one will be even better. If you want to attend next time, keep an eye out on the channel for an announcement. For all who attended, thanks for making this possible. I hope you had as good a time as I did. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.
Holy shit, this is leaf surfing. For realsies.